see, who cares to be seen and talk to me. I'm just testing my equipment right now, guys. I'm not actually planning on staying live for too long. I might do a couple of calls and talk to all of you about a few things that have been on my mind. Not the least of which is Russia, Ukraine. I thought I'd make a little prediction around that. I just test the equipment. That's basically what I'm doing, just having some fun at the computer. How is everyone today? I should open up my window actually, see if I can see your comments. As we just wait for people to come in. Let's see if I can do this here. It's been a while. Monday, nice to see you, Tonzi Zahn. Thank you. Hi, bro, says Marianne. Long time no see. Hope all is well. Thank you very much, Marianne. Yeah, all is well. All is well. Things are trucking along and moving forward in my life. So I thought I'd show up here and share with you guys. And I'm going to start, as I had said before, doing these live streams more often. Before the pandemic hit, I was pretty active here, but with everything that went on, we all had, I think, fallen into a slump, slumps of our own. And then, of course, as many of you know, my youngest cat developed cancer and I had to tend to her. So, the news today, as I mentioned on Facebook, is I'm officially a foster home for kitties. So in a few weeks, the kittens will be old enough to separate from their mothers. But we do keep them in pairs. We keep the siblings together. And my older cat, Moo, and I will be able to raise them and then adopt them out to the public. So that's exciting. But I wanted to try out a few things today. I wanted to talk a little bit about tarot cards with you guys because people wonder about psychic ability and not much is known about psychic ability. Different psychics always seem to work differently and have different modalities. I remember quite a long time ago, it must have been when I was 17 and I'm 40 now, my colleague and my mentor, my friend Suzanne, had gone to a psychic who used tarot cards. And I remember when she told me she had an appointment with this woman, I thought, oh God, here we go. Tarot readers. I always look at, tarot cards, crystal balls, things of this nature is sort of gimmicky. A lot of the fake psychics will use them. And people who are well-intended, but I think rely too much on superstition, will use these sorts of tools of divination. And anyway, I've since changed my mind about that to some degree. I think tarot cards in particular can be quite useful in the hands of a gifted psychic, someone who knows what they're doing with them. Similar to Ouija boards and different other tools that are forms of seance. No one should play with a Ouija board unless you're in the presence of a developed medium who knows what they're doing, first of all, because if you use these tools with a playful attitude or you don't know what you're doing, you can invite a lot of things in that you don't want necessarily. But I use the tarot cards now as a form of synchronicity, which is something I talk about a lot in my book. The foreword of the book actually goes into synchronicity quite a bit. Synchronicity, for those of you who haven't heard me talk about it, is what Carl Jung coined when you have an outside happenstance, a situation or a convergence of interesting coincidences that actually reflect something you've been thinking about or going through on the inside, on your internal life. So it's as if the external reality reflects your internal condition in an uncanny way. People see this a lot with numbers, 111, 333, various other kinds of synchronicities that occur. I talk about it on a podcast I had posted with Ghostly Talk last night, actually, on the Facebook page with John. So we did an interview about our book, and we go into synchronicities there too. So I think tarot cards operate on the principle of synchronicity. And I've actually used them successfully when I've had to read my family and friends, because one of the great enemies of psychic ability is what we call analytical overlay. It's a fancy term the military came up with when working with psychics to say imagination. So when your own thoughts start to try to overinterpret things, I always say to my family and friends, I love you, so I can't read you. Because what I want to have happen to you is not always what I see, and I'll cancel that out, my own imagination. Also, I need to have objectivity coming in. But tarot cards have helped me because I find that the cards can kind of keep me on track when it's about something that I'm too close to or something that I have foreknowledge about. They can, through synchronicity, show me very interesting things that either surprise me or confirm things I was sensing. So I tend to use them for that purpose. Now, this is my Golden Girls t-shirt. Blanche, I think it says Tramp. Okay, so I have a Dorothy shirt as well. And it says, you know, I want to be Dorothy in the streets, but Blanche in the sheets. And there's a reason for this Golden Girls t-shirt, other than just being silly. So we're going to switch to our second camera. Look what I've got going on, folks, here. Now, these are my Golden Girls tarot cards, which the co-author of my book, John Topp, got me for my birthday a couple of years ago. It's a joke. But they are tarot cards, and they mean the same thing that every other tarot card deck means. It's just the Golden Girls. Some of you remember that show. Let's see here. Oh, look, it's Sophia, played by Estelle Getty. So we're going to come back to this in a bit. I'm going to let you guys know what this is all about once I perform a reading on the Russia-Ukraine situation, which I use those tarot cards for. But in the meantime, I'm just going to take a look to see what's going on in this chat here. So Tonzi says, do you still have those wonderful cats? I do indeed, Tonzi. My kitty Moo is still with us. She's my oldest girl, and my darling monkey died of cancer 2 years ago in August, so I've been heartbroken over that. Moo has also been heartbroken, and that's why I'm fostering kittens this year, because Moo needs some kitties to foster and be a mother to, so that she's not so lonely. And if we can turn our love around and give it back to the community, that's what we do around here. Antonella says, hi, bro. Hi, Antonella. And let's see here. Who else is saying hi? Oh, by the way, everyone, I've posted a link to the Zoom call that you can click in the chat, and you can join and ask me a question or say hello. So you are welcome to do that. Also, in the description of this video is a phone number, and you can use that to call in. You may have to enter the password or the meeting ID, so I've also listed that as well. And Kelly Sharps at Narstay. Oh, hi, Kelly, my good friend. Whoa, I love and need those cards. Yes, they're very funny, Kelly. In the instructions, when you open up the cards, it goes through this whole thing about being on the lanai in Florida. If you like the 80s and if you like pastel, these are the tarot cards for you. And also, it's nice to see all of you. I'd love to hear some of you when you choose to call in. You can ask me personal psychic questions or just say hello. I mean, this is just a test of the equipment, so you might as well. Let's take a look here. What are we looking at? I'm just going to open up my Zoom call here to make sure no one's calling already. No? Okay, perfect. So whenever someone calls, I'm going to put you in the wait room before I bring you on. Now, if you're listening to the live broadcast through Facebook while you're on the call, there is a delay. So I might end up bringing you on the show before you're aware of it. So make sure you connect your microphone once you call in. If you're not using a phone to call in, if you're calling in over Zoom, it will prompt you to connect your microphone and listen in on your phone where you're making your call, so that you can make sure that I greet you and you know that you're being greeted onto the show. All right, so without further ado, I thought I would just skip over to this tarot reading on the Russia-Ukraine situation. I could have read anything today, but I thought I'd just pull these cards for a world prediction, and that's what I'm going to do with these cards, by the way, in future live streams. The cards are a gimmicky kind of jokey thing, but I'm going to use them specifically for world predictions to see what we can make out of these things. So now, okay, while I have that camera on the cards, the top row symbolizes for me the fundamental problem, and the top first card on the left is the Hierophant reversed, which represents personal beliefs, freedom, challenging the status quo. Now, this is, to me, the motivation that Putin had when he invaded Ukraine. I think that he saw the world traveling in a certain direction, specifically with NATO. We all know that, but even more insidious than that, which many people don't know about, the World Economic Forum and a globalist agenda. And Putin did not want that, and he thought he can have two birds with one stone, which I'll get more into as we go. The second card is the Hangman reversed, which symbolizes delays, resistance, stalling, and indecision. So I don't think Putin knew exactly what he was doing fully. He knew that he was going to stir it up. He knew he was going to annex land. But I don't think he had a fully articulated plan. I think he's operating on what he thinks is divine guidance. The third card in the top row is Two of Wands upright, which symbolizes courage and daring, a message of striking out on a new path. So that's how he sees it. He sees the whole endeavor as that. Now the middle row of cards, to me, symbolizes the current major actors in this event. You know, the Knight of Wand upright, energy, passion, inspired action, adventure, impulsiveness. Okay, so this is, again, the motivation of the current situation. Then the second card is Ace of Swords upright, breakthroughs, new ideas, mental clarity, and success. And then finally, the Three of Cups in reverse is inner feelings, self-love, self-care, and codependency. Now, nothing about this war is loving, but it's sort of a conceited card. It's about conceit. Now, the bottom row is a symbol of the solution. This is what I see as the outcome. Ten of Wands reversed says doing it all, carrying the burden, delegation, and release. It's really a card about failure in some sense. And then the failure belonging to Putin. Nine of Cups reversed, inner happiness, materialism, dissatisfaction, and indulgence. Okay, so that speaks for itself. And then the third card in the final row, Knight of Cups reversed, overactive imagination, jealous, moody. So all this means something, all right? And as it ties into my own psychic ability, I interpret this to mean that within the next 2 to 3 years, roughly around 2025, somewhere in that year, I have sensed that there will be a negotiation for apartheid, some kind of peace treaty. The war won't be completely over, tensions won't be completely over, but there will be an agreement. Ukraine has lost some land that has been annexed by Russia, and it won't be returned. I have seen that eventually, when Putin dies of old age, because these people never die. Have you ever noticed that? These people just live and live and live. A new leader will take over, and apologies will be issued to Ukraine, and a better peace treaty will be worked out at that time. I think the next president of the United States is going to have a huge impact as a charismatic type of leader. Not many people will like this leader. However, they will have a certain ability to usher in this peace treaty. Russia does not win. Everyone walks away from the table wanting more than they got. But that is usually how these negotiations go. Nobody wins, but everyone gets enough of what they think they need. And it's just 2025 keeps coming to mind. So it's going to be something like that. That's my prediction officially for the Russia-Ukraine situation. A lot of my Ukrainian clients reminded me that in 2007, I had predicted this even before the 2010 attack, and that many of them reached out to me when this war started. And thank God, all of them got out of harm's way. We had a few Ukrainian people through this group even who had come to Canada for safety, and all of them have been survived, and their families are doing well. So I'm very grateful for that, and that's why this is close to my heart. And we have a few more people saying hello. So hi everyone in the chat. I am going to take a Zoom call momentarily, as we do have people waiting in the room. So we'll start with Carla. Now Carla, you should be able to hear me in just a moment. And you don't have to connect your camera. You can if you'd like, but make sure you connect your microphone. Can you hear me, Carla? I see you there, but your microphone's not yet connected. Oh, there you are, Carla. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. All right. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Awesome. Now, did you want to just say hello, or did you have a question for me?
I had a question. I was wondering if you could, if you see any children for me.
Lovely. Wonderful question. All right. Let's take a look here. Very interesting. I see a little difficulty getting pregnant along the way, but I do see 2 children ultimately. There does seem to be something about a tipped uterus and some scarring, so there might be something internal that you have to work around. So it seems as though the egg has difficulty attaching to the lining, but I feel like something will come about around December. You'll consider it a Christmas miracle. I'm not sure that it's this year, but it does strike me that that would be an important time of the year. So usually it would be when you get pregnant or when you give birth.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you been aware of any kind of health issues that could be contributing to this?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're working with it on it right now. That's why.
And do you feel comfortable sharing a little bit about what those are, or would you prefer we go into a different question?
Um, I yeah, we're just consulting with the specialist
Perfect.
basically at the moment. Yeah.
Perfect. I do think
Um,
they might do a bit of a laparoscopic procedure for you, and hormones will be helpful as well.
yeah, so yeah, I'm actually working with this hormone specialist at the moment, so that's wonderful. You picked up on that.
Perfect, perfect. And I see a boy and a girl, by the way. Boy first.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, you'll notice because
Wow.
you'll get more nauseous when you carry. You'll carry heavy at first, but we know your husband will be quite happy about this.
Yes, yes. Oh, wow. Thank you. Oh,
Oh, it's my pleasure, my
wow.
friend. And have we had a reading personally before?
We have.
Awesome, awesome. Do you remember what I predicted in that reading? Because that would be interesting to see if it lines up.
You did say two children.
Holy smokes. Okay, so we get a little bit
Yeah.
more detail than today. I think you're getting close. I think December is maybe, I think even this coming year, the end of this year, we should say.
Yeah, that's very possible if everything goes according to plan.
It's true, and it would be interesting if you look at the cycles, right? Because it sort of is predictable even medically to a degree. So maybe it all works out. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
best of luck, and thank you for your question.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
My pleasure. All right, we'll put you back in the weight room. You can always head back to the Facebook stream if you'd like. We'll bring on Tanya Brown next. Now, Tanya, you should be getting a prompt. Again, you can use your camera if you'd like, but please connect your microphone, my beautiful friend. There you are. Oh, oh, you're freezing. You're freezing. Say hi again. Can you hear me, Tanya? Oh no, you're muted. Hold on. Let me try unmuting, or you can try unmuting yourself. Oh, there you
Can you
are.
hear me now?
I can indeed. There you are.
Oh,
Okay. So how are
number one,
you?
I want to say it's so exciting to see you again. You probably don't remember me, but it was a long, many years ago, you did a reading for me, and it was just wonderful. So nice to see
Oh,
you
I'm
again.
so glad. I think it was in the condo
Yeah,
on Redpath, and you came up and my cats were sitting on you.
yes. And oh my gosh, I have to like testify. The reading was so wonderful. And of course, when you leave a reading, you don't really know like how to kind of absorb everything, but everything that you said actually came to pass. You said that I would meet someone that I would fall in love with that drove a truck, and that exact same thing happened. It was interesting when we had our first date. I was like, hmm. And there was just a bunch of things, even with my son. You had, at the time, this was like 10 years ago. Now my son's almost 18, but you had envisioned him with twists in his hair, like very, very specific. If I could find a picture, I would show you the twists in his hair with the elastics that you specifically said. So it just, oh, I'm so happy to see you, honestly. It almost wants to give me tears. It was just um, yeah, such a wonderful reading. So very, very nice to see you.
It's so good to
And I
see
must
you.
say, I'm getting a little bit emotional, so I apologize.
Oh,
Oh my
bless
God.
you. I wish we could get one of the nice things about seeing everyone in person like I used to was being able to give hugs after the
Yeah.
reading. And we
And your
talk about,
cat came and sat on me, and oh my gosh. It was just a very wonderful experience. And I don't know, I'm getting so emotional, but you were talking about synchronicities and things like that. And it's just really amazing that I saw you pop on because like a couple of days ago, I was like, oh my God, it would be so great if I could get to see Burrow again. And am I saying your name wrong? Is it Bro?
you got it.
Okay, good. Okay.
Hmm.
I was thinking it'd be so wonderful if I could see him again. And I kept on seeing 111 and I kept on seeing 555. And then I saw you pop on today. So I feel like this was like meant to be. So I'm so happy to see you again.
Wonderful. Oh, I could just squeeze you. Now, has your boy met that girl yet? Because I feel his love life is a big, there's turnarounds happening there.
Oh my God, he has a little girlfriend that he hasn't really admitted to me that is his girlfriend. But I have a feeling this friend, I actually facilitated like his first in-house date and they watched a movie in the living room. I felt so old.
Ah,
Um,
that's so cute.
but yeah, he's doing well. And I just want to say thank you. It was such a wonderful reading. It was a long time ago, but just, I wanted to do my little testimony.
Oh, well, geez, you are so perfect. Thank you so much. People, it almost looks like I paid you to do this, but it's totally synchronicity. And I want to say there's a congratulations in order for you because there's some kind of a new position through work, and it almost feels like a management kind of opportunity where it's like team leader is the word I might want to use or the phrase I might want to use. Has there been any rumblings on the work front for you?
You know what? I've been working with a company for about 13 months and I've been doing really well. I've been promoted 3 times and I just actually went for the management position. So that's really exciting.
There you
I'm
go.
still waiting to hear back, but that's very, very exciting because normally with this organization, you find out fairly soon. And I was feeling a little bit doubtful because I'm still waiting to hear back, but I can't imagine why they wouldn't want to hire me. So
Mm-hmm.
in that position, I've basically done it in a temporary role, and this would be a full-time position, which would be much better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to that. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
wonderful to hear.
And not only will it happen within 3 weeks, but it will come with bonuses. So you're going to redo your kitchen with new appliances and new drawers.
Oh my gosh! And I'm interested in doing a lot of renovations in my home.
Oh, that's fabulous. I see like a yellow, like almost a lemon, like light. And you might go, maybe it's in a piece of art or textiles. Maybe it's a picture of a sunflower. It just belongs in the kitchen against the gray and the brown.
Wow, you are so amazing because I have right now gray cabinets and a light pale yellow. So you're really tuning into my home. Oh my God. That's
Psychic
so
and
amazing.
interior designer, folks. We get it all here. But yeah, I see that job opportunity going really well for you, and your son. I think this is so crucial for his first love in some sense.
Yes, yes. It's hard for me because he's 17 and
Yeah.
he's just gotten into university. So I'm having a little bit of attachment, or maybe it's detachment issues. I know he
Mm-hmm.
has to like move on to this next chapter, but I'm also like, you're gonna be 17 in your first year of university. Like I feel like it's too young, but this is life, it's his next chapter. So
Oh,
I'm
he can't
trying.
wait because he was so bored with high school. I mean, they really aren't.
Really, it's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, so this will be enthusiastic. I see, interestingly enough for him, I see like mixtures of information technology, but I also see general business for him. What's his focus right now?
You know what? He's such an intelligent kid. He really doesn't know exactly what he wants to do. Uh he's interested in business, international business, but I don't really know if he really understands what that means at this age. You know what I mean? It just sounds kind of fancy.
Hmm.
And he's interested in psychology. He seems to have a little bit more interest in psychology than I thought, but we'll see how it goes. He says maybe he wants to be a therapist, and I thought, okay, wow, okay, well, we'll
Hmm.
see.
Hmm.
So right now he's basically gotten into every single university he's applied to, and you know how
Fabulous.
Ontario is. He's gotten into Queen's, UFT, University of Ottawa, York. So
He'll
like
stay close to
he
home
can
though.
pick. Yeah, he can pick. And you know what? I don't live in Toronto anymore. I've moved out to Kingston.
Hmm.
So we're not in the city anymore, but he has a ton of options. So I'm happy for him. I'm really, very, very feeling like a proud mama.
Yeah, well, I would be too, and so Carlton, you maybe comes to mind. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he might be leaning
Oh,
more that way, and I think to some degree, if he goes business, and does communication, he can get into sort of a form of politics eventually, because
oh
the
wow.
legal scales, the balance scales, were coming into my mind like that symbol, and I thought this is a kid who would
Mhm.
have gone into law in a different scenario, like if he had more money maybe, or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
One of his own children will be a lawyer in the future, by the way. But he's going to
Oh,
go
wonderful.
business. Yeah, business, and then almost like almost international, and there's some a little bit of diplomacy in a weird way. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. He's a very, very highly intelligent kid, quite mature for his age, and also quite witty. So I think
Hmm.
he has an amazing future. I did have a question for you.
Sure thing.
Um, did you see children in my future?
I could see a little girl. I could see one little girl. Um, and I also think you're going to have grandchildren. How interesting would this be? Sometimes you have that family situation where you have an aunt or an uncle who's not that much older than you, who's only
Yeah.
like 10 years older. I think it could be
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm really glad to hear that. And I like we are right now, me and my partner we're trying for children and I know it's going to be quite the gap because, Isaiah's about to turn 18 at the end of the year, so
Mm.
there will be this kind of big gap, but that's amazing. Thank you.
I see 42. How old are you now?
I'm turning 40
Okay, so
this
so
October.
42 might be when you have your baby successfully, or
Mm-hmm.
42 is when you're done. Like it's finished. So it could be a little between any time between now and 42, I would even say.
Okay. Thank you. That's excellent to hear.
Awesome. All right, Tanya. Well, I'll put you back in the weight room. We've got Kelly waiting, so we're going to bring her on next.
Okay, thank
Oh, thank you very much, Tanya. I cut you off too soon. I'm terrible with that. Everybody who talks to me every day knows I hang up before people are finished saying goodbye. It's my thing. It's one of my signatures. All right, we'll bring Kelly Setnarski into the room. Kelly, I've known you for so long, and yet I can't pronounce your name. Hi there. Oh, no, you're muted. Hold on one sec. Let me try. Ask to unmute.
Oh,
There you
there we
go.
are. Hi, bro.
Lovely. Oh, I love your wall behind you. What a lovely.
Oh, I'm in a hotel, so there.
Yes, yes, yes. Now, how are you, my friend? I think you have been with me almost the whole ride, haven't you? Isn't this like
The
20 years
whole
now?
ride. You were a teenager the first time I saw you, bro, in Oak Ridges. It was a
Yes.
long time.
All the dogs barking when you first got to the front door. I had
Oh,
hair.
you did. Yes, we were both a little bit different, but
Mm.
you have done very well, my friend, and I am still so connected to who you are and your journey, and really proud of who you are today.
Oh,
So
thank
thank you
you.
for continuing to be you.
That is so special to hear from you, Kelly. And I know that you're not really calling for a reading or for yourself. You just wanted to say hi. But if you don't mind, I might sense something. And first of all, there's a woman who's been around you in spirit, quite a lot. And I can't tell if she's a grandmother. She seems a little younger than a grandmother to me. Did your family lose like an aunt or something in the last 5 years?
Yeah, about 7 years. Yes, 5 to 7 years. I'm not
Okay.
great on
Okay.
timing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, COVID's like this 2 year gap. That's just, don't you
Right?
find? Took out 2 years.
Took out
Um,
everything. You got it.
yeah, so I
Hmm.
don't know if she had well there's okay, so there's two energies because one had cancer, but then someone was kind of dementia or not
Hmm.
cognitively clear. Now, I also can get that
Hmm.
sometimes if someone had a stroke or passed in their sleep too, because it's like cognitive
Hmm.
issues. So there's some people around you that way. Um, and the spirit people are kind of, I don't know how to word this. It's like they're jazzed up around you lately because maybe this is a time where there's a lot of birthdays clustered and also there's reunion
Hmm.
feelings happening in the family. And there's going to be something that takes us to Europe for a trip as a family. Not everyone in the family will go, but it seems as though a few key members will go over to Europe. And I don't know where it is. It feels like an island or it feels coastal, though.
Wow.
Where's your family from originally? Do you know?
So my mom's family's Ukraine,
Mm.
and my dad's family's all England, Scotland, those sorts of areas.
It's more the Scottish English channel and all that area. I
Hmm.
feel. I feel so. There's going to be a trip with some of the older family members that you, I think, may end up actually going. You will not think you could at first, but then you're going to end up
Hmm.
facilitating and going with four people. So
I'll
that'll
take
be
it.
yeah, that'll be fun. And so how have
That's
you
wonderful.
been anyway? Did you have any questions for me today?
Yeah, you know what, bro? I do. I feel, and I've been thinking about calling you. So I'm glad that you popped up saying Bros Live, and here I am. Um, but I feel sort of at a crossroads with a lot of things. So I'm just wondering if you see, I'm never really interested in what's going to happen in the future, but I really see I'm at this crossroads of a whole lot of things, and
How to
I'm
work
just
through
kind
the
of looking for
now.
your input.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
How to work through the now, maybe
Mm,
strategies and things, right?
mm,
Why do I feel that so much of this ties into like family dynamics or the dynamics of your relationships? Is that where a lot of the focus
mm.
is, would you say?
It's everywhere. Yeah,
Mm,
there's a lot. My son is struggling. hmm
mm,
So a bit of that.
okay.
hmm
Okay. Let's see what I can pull
Yeah,
through. And I'm sorry, can you just say your son's first name once for me, please?
cool.
Cole. That's right. Okay.
hmm
Okay, so Cole, gosh, he's got some things in common with me. And what I mean by that is he thinks he can do it by himself.
hmm
He doesn't reach out for the help that he needs, and you have, been an incredible, impeccable guide, and he does actually listen to you. You and him always have had those kitchen counter talks, and he'll stop with, talk to mom with a cup of tea and stuff. So you have helped him tremendously. So you're in this weird place, especially with him, where it's like you can't do much because he's an adult, but also you're still his mom, and so,
hmm
and then you have this, his personality is one where he really feels he should deal with it on his own, which comes from guilt
Yeah.
and shame.
hmm
It's the core of it is guilt and shame. And,
Right.
and it's a little bit like being afraid to show how bad your wound is. Like you keep it
hmm
hidden a bit. And,
That.
it does register to me like depression, a
hmm
slight tendency toward manic episodes,
hmm
alcoholism, and marijuana use. So like these are
Yeah,
all in the same thing,
it's true.
and
hmm
and I feel like counseling and a group will help him in the next 5 years. He'll choose this, and what's really interesting is he'll learn to work through a tremendous amount of stuff by helping other people. That's just how he is.
hmm
And that's what probably works well for him when he does finally choose this group, because he's helping other people too, and they're all like connecting, and he makes all these big realizations, and he'll be telling you about them, and you'll be thinking, well, your tongue will bleed because you have to bite your tongue with I've said this to you 50 times, and it's like he can hear it from other people but not from his own family. And so he's actually on a journey of healing, I feel. And
I hope so.
yeah, and from there, his career life really also lifts him up. He's actually quite good with his talents and his drive. It's just he doesn't feel grounded, and he doesn't know what his purpose is yet.
hmm
But I almost feel like he would have made a really good like chef or
Yeah.
hospitality person, or and some young men who have that gift would be DJs and work in cameraman and media and stuff like that too. Like being able
hmm
to showcase, put on a spread, be a host in some way. He's got a lot
hmm
of those talents, and I don't think he realizes it because
No.
he's kind of a boy and thinks he has to be like kind of mechanical engineering. He doesn't realize sometimes it's the people who own the restaurant or own the hotel. You know what I mean? Like he's got a lot
Yeah.
of those traits. So can you clarify
hmm
any of those impressions that I have?
Yeah, he he fights for the dollar and not for what he loves. And in fighting for that dollar, he gives up a lot of who he is. But you're
Mm-hmm.
right, with some depression, a lot of substance use, probably some manic episodes in there for sure,
Mm-hmm.
and a real detachment with me right now.
He'll come back around. He'll come back
Mhm.
around close to the end of this year, and I know what happens. It's like he comes back around, and then things flare up, and then he goes away again.
Yeah.
But it'll simmer down because he's going to get the help he needs in the next 4.5 to 5 years. And I'm not sure how he chooses it. I mean, maybe he's inspired by a lady that he's with, um,
hmm
but he chooses it, and that's why it works.
hmm
he's just he deals with a lot of internal conflict that he doesn't know how to work out. I don't know why. It's connected to his father, but I don't know why. Because
Yeah,
even though you
and
and I
he
have known each other, I forget. Yeah.
yeah, he takes it out on his mom, right?
Right.
And yeah, so
Of
his mom
course.
left his dad a few years ago, which
Uh,
has been good, but not great for him because it's unsettled with him.
mm-hmm. A few
But
years ago,
yeah,
was it 7 years ago in particular, or?
yeah,
Yeah.
7 years ago, May actually. Yes,
Oh, holy smokes.
yeah,
Okay.
there
Yeah,
you
yeah.
are. Yeah,
Because your guide,
exactly.
yeah, was you said a few, and I think three, but then your guide goes, no, it's seven. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, my guide's right.
Because we haven't talked we've known each other for 20
We
years,
haven't.
but we haven't talked very much recently.
Not very much recently, no,
Yeah.
no. And my work life has taken me in many different directions, and I'm sort of in a very interesting spot work-wise, where I'm trying really hard to be spiritually connected and continue to sort of, for lack of the better word, fight the good fight, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
for the communities,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I'm in a
Absolutely.
lot of conflict regularly as a manager.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Manager mom.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
It's a lot of the same things. And I feel a Donald or a D initial at work will come into the picture on your team somehow and really add to the organization of things. And I think even
Great.
be a very, very good ally of yours in the next year, almost a year from now, because I see
Mm-hmm.
April.
Yeah. Could
So
that be a Deborah?
it could
Or you
be.
think it's male?
It could be, but I have a feeling in a year you'll see a male.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
But
Thank you,
we'll
bro.
get together and I'm going to make an
I'd like
announcement by
that.
the end of the stream as well. So you might be interested in staying tuned for that.
I'll do my best to stay right here. Thank you so much, bro. It's really wonderful to see you.
You too, Kelly. All right, big
I look
hugs.
forward to seeing you soon. Big hugs to you.
You too. Talk soon. All right. Now we have someone who's calling in on a phone. Now I hope that your phone number is not displayed on the screen. I have tried to set the settings to prevent that, but what I can do is perhaps edit it out if this goes on YouTube ever. So we'll keep your number secret. 6105. You are on the line. Hello, I'm Bro.
Hi, bro. How
What's
are
your
you?
name, love?
Um,
Hello.
I was just wondering. Oh, my name is Vivian
Vivian. Hi, Vivian. Now, where are you calling from?
from Philadelphia.
Wonderful. Vivian from Philly is on the line. Okay, do you have a question for me?
I was just wondering if there were, I guess, any spirits around, or
Yeah, are there any
yeah.
spirits around? There's a man, a gentleman who died too early by the standard of the day. Now, for me, that's any time before your 60s. Was that like a father or an uncle figure to you?
No, it was actually like a friend.
I'm sorry to hear. It felt very sudden. What happened?
He had a heart attack.
Oh, far too young. Was he only like 42 or something crazy?
55.
55 is still young because like my mother went at 51, and it's just so tragic and sudden. It was a massive attack, I feel. I don't think, even if it happened in the hospital, I don't think he could have been saved. Is the J initial for him or someone that you guys know?
Yes,
It's like
for
Jay
him,
or Jason?
Jerry.
Jerry? Okay, thank you. But with a J, not a G, right? Okay, because I wanted to go more
Right.
that way. And his energy is with you. He comes to you in dream visitations. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Yeah, you've had a couple of those. He also did an aroma like a smoke, like it's tobacco or some kind of smoky smell that people will get from time to time. Does he have two of his own kids with different mothers or something?
No.
Okay, because I don't know who had the kids with different parents. It feels like that's important to him, though. So he comes around and sees them, whomever those belong to. And I would also say for you, I see something of a difficulty that you've had around your career life. Did you lose a job or walk away from one in the last year or two?
I lost the job during the pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah, like, and this whole pandemic, like I said, it's like a time warp. I see a new job though. Did you get one recently, or are you looking?
I'm looking.
Yeah, because I feel one coming up very, very soon. I would expect in June, in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Now, there is some element of I don't know if I would call it like, gosh, like assistance, like personal assistance or home care or something, or, or maybe even just taking care of a place. What kind of field of work are you looking into?
I was looking in computer science.
Oh, very good. Okay, so it might be a job that allows you to stay at home while you do it or have a fair amount of home work, okay? But I feel like it's coming up soon because I was getting the feeling that work is an important topic for you right now because it's kind of at the top of your concerns. That's what I was shown. So I'm happy to report another
Yeah.
congratulations for a new job coming up. And have we worked together in the past? Have you had a reading with me before?
Yes, I did. And actually, I wanted to tell you that everything that you said came true.
Oh my God. Now I don't remember anything I tell people. So you've got to remind me. Give us a couple. Like what are the top two things that were astounding to you that came true?
That my daughter would go out in the world, and she did. Was one of them.
You mean like a trip, like an extended trip where she went to school far away or something?
No, she left the house, and she's basically might be relocating in Chicago
Wow.
for a
Okay.
while.
Mm-hmm.
But she's got a friend, so she's with him as well.
All right. Okay. So your daughter left home and she's out in the world on her own now, and maybe earlier than you expected. And what's the other thing that stood out to you?
You were saying that my other daughter would get a job in community service, clinical, sorry.
Clinical.
And it was true. It happened.
It
just
happened. Okay.
happened.
What part of the clinical? What does she do?
I'll tell you. One second.
Hi, my name is Melanie. I actually got a job recently working more in the clinical side, doing IT still, but more on-site, assisting with clinical applications and working with surgical instrument documentation.
See, that's so interesting what you just said, because you remember my last call, or actually it was my call before the last, where I saw IT for that lady's son, Tanya's son. And IT is such a diverse field, isn't it? It's interesting. You're in IT, but yet you're in the clinical aspect of it. So that's a really interesting point. Thank you for sharing, Melanie.
Thanks.
Do you have another question for me?
I guess no, I can't think of any actually.
Now, Melanie, is she in a
But I
new
would like to
relationship?
No. Here. Oh, wait.
Oh, sorry?
Melanie, yeah, a new relationship?
No, nothing in relationship sector. I guess I was just wondering more about my paternal side. We've had a bit of a distancing in the last at least decade. And I was just wondering if there was any spirits coming through from that side of the family.
Not at this time. And the only thing is, spirit connection is difficult during a live stream. Sometimes it happens, like with Mum's friend, and then other times it's shoddy. But I just get something about new relationship, new opportunity that way. So I'll leave that with you, Melanie. And I have a feeling we're gonna have a reading, a proper reading.
Yeah, no.
What's that? Sorry, love. You'll have to repeat.
Sorry, I said I would definitely love to do a reading. Is there, I guess, what I guess details are you getting about a new relationship?
Well, it just felt like romance starting up in your life. Like it felt like it was developing in some way. And keep in mind, I don't know if you're married or single or what have you, but apparently I'm seeing like a new opportunity with love. So it's very vague, granted. In a full private reading, I get a lot of detail, but in these kinds of demonstrations where I'm just doing slinging out a few predictions, it's a little more vague and mysterious, but it still means something. And so I'm just getting something around end of summer, maybe even toward August, and I see opportunity with your love, because I just see a big heart around you. Like love is the next focus for you.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, it's something that I'm single right now, so it's something I'm going to have to start looking towards now that I'm 27 and, getting a family and stuff. But yeah, that's definitely an interesting ballpark, and I will definitely be doing a reading with you.
My pleasure. And remember, Richard, Robert, and our name, okay? I'll leave that little hint. And when we do our reading, because I won't remember anything I've told you today, it'll be interesting if it lines up.
Okay, I will definitely remember that.
All right, my dear. Well, thank you again for your call, and say goodbye to your mother for me.
Okay, she'll say bye too.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye, Vivian. Take care, everyone. Well, thank you, callers. Now, that was great. I mean, I did not expect that. That was so cool. Thank you all. I have an announcement to make. You will all get some more detail about this in the coming week or so. I am working with some clients of mine who are event planners. These girls are really cool. They do like yoga with goats and all kinds of cool different things around Toronto. We've reserved a hall in Vaughan. And on August 22nd, I'll be doing a live in-person event, hopefully with all of you, where I get on stage and I do readings and I do a talk. And it's my first time in 10 years being in front of a live audience once again. And I've told many of you about my dear Lucas, my nephew, really, and he is going through his health issues, but he will be my cameraman, so he's going to be there with me. I think Liz Throp is going to MC. So Liz is a psychic colleague of mine from St. Catharines who's been on the channel before as well. She'll be there as well. So it's all of us coming together. And it's one way to really celebrate the end of this pandemic, but also the new beginning of getting together in person and sharing spiritual stories, insights, and readings, of course. So I hope to see all of you there. You'll have links to buy tickets, and we will have some kind of a rate or a discount for groups of 4 or more. So we're going to give you some of that. I'm going to do it in an event location where it's a very beautiful loft. They hold bar mitzvahs, weddings, all kinds of things there. Exposed brick, all art, Andy Warhol style art, which is really cool and colorful. And the way I roll, we're going to have wine, we're going to have beer, we're going to have a cash bar, okay? I don't like to do these things shoddy. We're going to do it, all the stops will be pulled out, and we're going to have the red carpet rolled out for all of you, and then we're going to get together and have fun. With that, I'm going to wrap this stream up because I have other things to get to, like dinner, and I'm sure all of you do as well. Thank you for joining me. I'll just read a couple of more chats here as we play ourselves out. So let's see. I think we have Carla. I highly recommend a reading with Brough. He is amazing. Has been right on and accurate about big events in my life. Oh, thank you, Carla. That's very kind. I swear, guys, I'm not paying anyone to say any of this. And Joe Fox says, Foxy Joe, Bro, excellent to see you. Nice to see you too, my friend. Tanya Titus, I highly recommend a reading with Brough. Another high recommendation, high praise. Yes. Antonella, my dear Antonella says, I would have loved to talk to you, but I'm getting a message that I'm unable to connect. I'm on my iPad. I wonder what the problem is. Oh, it might be iPads, Antonella. That's good to know. Thank you for letting us know. Liz Dos Santos says, Hi, Bro. Hi, Liz. It's nice to see you, my dear. You're one of my top commenters. And Joanna Geary, can't wait. Oh, good, Joanna. Oh, Joanna is one of my event planners, everyone. She's the one who does all of these amazing events, and quite a story we have for you about the process of coming to this. Mary Collins says, Bro predicted a move made by my family when I was 12 years old. Can't wait to book a reading. Oh, Mary Collins, 12 years old. Holy smokes, you were such a kid, and now you are full grown. Amazing. Well, everyone, it's been a pleasure, as always, and I'll be live again, hopefully soon. I'm going to be on Liz's show, Wisdom Wednesdays, on Liz Throp's channel. I'll share it here with all of you as well. So we'll see you on Wednesday night, and with that, have a great night.
I ain't talking forever, just need some time. Got some fresh added courage, grass of ancient plain. As the last straw broken